Hey, it's me, Austin Miller, the Gentleman Caller, and I'm here at Miller Creek on my family's amazing cattle ranch in Johnson City, Texas. We had a lot of fun here when I was a kid. We had a lot of cool stuff and we ate a lot of good food. So I'm going to take you back to the kitchen and show you exactly what we used to eat here when I was growing up. We're back in the kitchen after a fantastic weekend in the hill country, and while we were there we picked up some really beautiful freestone peaches. Blanco, Johnson City, Stonewall, places like that, Fredericksburg in the hill country of Texas are really famous for their peaches that are super sweet and super delicious. So today we're going to put together something that my granny is an expert at and is very critical of when she eats it herself, and that is a peach. It's gonna be, let's call it a Pobbler. It's not a pie, it's not a cobbler, but it's gonna be really good. Sometimes pies are like super formal and like a thing, and I want this to be like rustic. But we're still gonna start with the Gentleman Caller's traditional pie crust, which you can find on the link on the website. Which is super basic. I have a stick of butter and half a stick of butter flavor Crisco. Don't judge, you know that I like butter flavor Crisco. They've been in the freezer, and what I'm gonna do is cut them into little bitty squares, put them in the food processor with 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt, and 1 teaspoon of sugar. I'm actually using vanilla sugar that I made myself. All you do is stick an old vanilla bean down in a jar of sugar, and it gives it this really terrific, nuancy, delicious flavor. So let's get to work. Butter flavor Crisco actually has less water in it than actual butter, so it's not going to get that same sort of rigidity that you're going to get in the regular butter. Oh, I also forgot to tell you that you need to put 1/3 cup of water with 2 ice cubes in it, because you're going to need that in a second. Like I said, 2.5 cups of AP flour. I shouldn't use little things like that. All-purpose flour. I don't want to be all Rachel Ray on you people. Those little sayings and things. It's not something I aspire to. Okay, now we're just going to pulse this in the food processor. It's going to start looking like meal. Now we're going to very carefully add some water. And that's going to do it. We're going to take this out of here, out of the processor. It should just stick together. Perfection. Make 2 similarly shaped little discs. Mash them out to about 5 inches. Place in a zip top bag. And refrigerate it for at least an hour. Now, we have plenty of chores to do in that hour, so stick with me. All right, let's keep going here. We've got our discs in the refrigerator, and now we've got to build our filling. So, the other day when I bought these, I brought them home and I went ahead and peeled them because I didn't want them to turn, and these were kind of really expensive, to be quite honest. These people really want these dudes, these little peaches, and they come at a premium, but they're definitely worth it. All you have to do to peel them is put a pot of water on the stove, bring it to a full rolling boil, drop your peaches in it for 90 seconds, probably not longer than 90 seconds. Pull them right out, and the peel will just it'll peel right off. The peel will peel right off, of course. So I have them up and I have them in the food processor. You don't need to watch the food processor between doing your dough and doing this step for your peaches, because all this stuff's about to go together in one dish, so what's the point? So they're in here in the vessel. I'm gonna add, I really like cinnamon. Cinnamon's delicious. I'm gonna add a full teaspoon of cinnamon. If you are bananas for cinnamon, you can even go further than that if you want to. I'm gonna grate a little nutmeg in there. Don't skip this step. Yeah, don't skip this step. Like I said, my granny is a big judge of this particular dessert, and we had some together about 2 weeks ago at an event, and she was not pleased about the lack of nutmeg. It gives it this earthy sort of, I don't want to say bitter, but undertone that cuts that peach sweet, and your palate kind of chases it. That's what my dad says anyway. Oh, that's gonna be so good. Just a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna actually put some lemon juice in here, but a little zest ain't gonna hurt nothing either. I wouldn't do the whole lemon. That's plenty. And now I'm gonna hit it with about 2 tablespoons of actual lemon juice. After putting all that sour lemon in there, we're gonna put in about 3/4 of a cup of sugar. I'm using this good vanilla sugar again. 1/4 of a cup more flour. There we go. And I'm just gonna give this a little pulse. Don't go nuts. Don't make of yourself a peach puree. Just give it a little zzz. That'll work. The time has come to roll the dough. So, preheat your oven right now to 425, because that's where we're gonna start. Take out your disc. It's been refrigerated for at least an hour. Put a little bit of flour on your surface and hit it. I'm using this dish. You can use a square of this volume. You can use a pie plate if you want. But I'm gonna obviously roll out an oval because I'm using an oval dish. Oh, you can see all these pretty little flecks of butter that are gonna make it so flaky. I precautionarily sprayed a little bit of pan release around the perimeter of my baking vessel because I think there's gonna be a mess. There usually is. This one has a tendency to bubble over. So now you're gonna gently roll your crust around your pan. I'm going to take it right to the edge. Now with this second crust, I'm going to make strips out of it. So it doesn't have to be super refined. They just need to be able to, you know, cover the distance. And I'm going to use this fun little special tool that I have for pasta making, so it has really nice edges. I think just for fun, I'm going to take my ravioli stamp because it has such a cool edge and just put some fun little shapes. Why the hell not? Oh, it's cute. That's how it's going to be. Now we're going to egg wash it. Take an egg, put a little bit of water in it, beat it up, smear it on top. You can see I've put the whole thing into another larger pan with foil in it because sometimes pie is a big mess if it overflows. This egg wash is going to ensure that it has a really pretty color. When we've completed the egg wash, let's hit it all with some vanilla sugar. "15 minutes are up." At the 15-minute mark, pop back over to your oven and turn your temperature down to 375. Let it go another 45 minutes to an hour. You'll know because the crust will turn a perfect color and the peaches will bubble just right. Just make sure the exterior perimeter of the Pobbler doesn't get too dark. And at the end of that bake time, you have a beautiful Pobbler. Hell yeah, it's a Pobbler. I like mine with a little bit of Bluebell homemade vanilla ice cream. You should try it that way too. This is the Gentleman Caller, signing off.